Whenever we talk about the future of work, it's so easy to picture those sci-fi scenes, right? Robots are everywhere and humans, well, we've become obsolete. But what if that entire story we've been telling ourselves is just wrong? Today, we're going to dig into a completely different version of the future, one where people and machines aren't enemies, but are actually becoming incredible partners.
Okay, let's just get right to it because this is the question that's on everyone's mind. It's the one that feels all our anxieties about automation. It feels personal, it feels urgent, and it's really the reason we're even having this conversation. So, are they coming for our jobs? Well, the answer is a whole lot more complex and honestly, a lot more interesting than you probably think.
So, the myth we've been sold is this idea of total replacement. You know the one. A future where machines do literally everything and we're all out of work. But the reality that's actually taking shape right now in factories and hospitals all over the globe, it's all about collaboration. It's a world where humans and robots work side by side, each one making the other better. To really unpack this, here's what we're going to cover. First, we're going to rethink that whole humans versus machines idea. Then, we'll introduce you to something called a cobot. We'll see which industries are already changing because of them, figure out what this means for our skills, and finally, we'll paint a picture of what this collaborative future really looks like. So, first things first, let's just tackle that dystopian nightmare head on. It's really time we started shifting our whole mindset from a battle for survival to a new kind of partnership. See, the story here isn't about conflict. It's actually about co-creation. It's about symbiosis. As machines develop these new kinds of intelligence, it doesn't just push humanity aside. No way. It actually challenges us to find a new, maybe even a deeper purpose in the work that we do. And look, this isn't just some philosophical idea. It's being driven by real, tangible technology that's changing everything. So it's time to meet your potential new coworker. And just to be clear, this is not some far-off future we're talking about. Let's put a number on it. In 2023 alone, there were nearly 4.3 million industrial robots operational around the world. I mean, this is happening right now, and the scale is just absolutely massive. The real game changer here is the cobot, which stands for collaborative robot. So, what makes a cobot so special? Well, it's designed from the ground up for direct human interaction. It's got all these advanced safety sensors so it can work right next to you, safely, without needing to be locked in a cage. This is a total revolution for what a workspace can even look like. Think about the leap forward here. We're moving away from those old industrial robots that were caged up, completely blind to their surroundings and totally separate from people, just doing the same task over and over and over. Today's cobots, they're uncaged, they're aware, and they are truly collaborative. They use something called adaptive autonomy, which is just a fancy way of saying they can actually perceive what's going on around them and learn from us, instead of just blindly following a pre-written program. Okay, so where is this really happening? Let's take a look at how this human-robot teamwork is already reshaping huge parts of our economy. And this is not just happening in one niche area. We're seeing this massive transformation in manufacturing, of course, but also in healthcare, logistics, and even agriculture. Let's zoom in on a couple of examples of this partnership in the real world. So picture a modern factory. You might see a cobot holding a heavy welding tool, keeping it perfectly steady for hours on end, which protects its human partner from dangerous fumes and strain. Or maybe it's doing super precise soldering work under a microscope, stuff that a human eye could never manage. This makes work safer, sure, but it also makes it so efficient that companies are actually able to bring manufacturing jobs back home. Or let's switch gears to healthcare. You've got surgical robots giving surgeons a level of precision that is literally superhuman. But just as important, you've got robotic assistants zipping around handling logistics, moving supplies, sanitizing rooms, which frees up our amazing nurses to focus on what only they can do, provide critical, compassionate patient care. Now, this is happening all over the world. But the epicenter of this revolution might not be where you think. Asia is absolutely dominating, accounting for a staggering 73% of all new robot deployments back in 2022. And get this, within Asia, China alone installed more than half of all the new robots on the entire planet. The economic map is truly being redrawn right before our eyes. So, this all leads to the really crucial question. With millions of these cobots joining the workforce, what in the world does this mean for us, for human skills, and our actual role at work? Well, think about the tasks that are being automated. It's the repetitive stuff, the physically demanding stuff, the monotonous stuff. So what's left for us? Well, it's all the skills that are uniquely human. Creative problem solving, big picture strategic thinking, and emotional intelligence. Those are now more valuable than ever. The machines handle the rote work, we get to handle the truly interesting challenges. And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. A factory worker today can literally teach a cobot a new task just by doing it themselves. The cobot watches, and it learns through this process called reinforcement learning. You can think of it like guided trial and error, where the robot gets positive feedback for getting closer to the right move. I mean, this completely blurs the line between being an operator and being an engineer. It turns every worker into a teacher for machines. There's actually an economic term for this amazing effect. It's called the augmentation premium. It's all about the massive productivity boost you get when humans and AI are in it together, sharing the decision making. When you do it right, automation frees up our most precious resource, our attention, so we can focus on judgment, on creativity, and on building relationships. Okay, let's pull all these threads together. What's the big picture for the future of work? Well, the answer is that it's going to be more automated and maybe surprisingly a whole lot more human. It's a paradox for sure, but it's one we should absolutely lean into. By handing off the tedious, the boring, and the backbreaking work to machines, we are freed up to focus on the stuff that actually requires our humanity, our creativity, our ingenuity, and our empathy. Now, of course, this transition isn't going to be without its challenges. The key is not to try and stop automation. That's a losing battle. The key is to manage it wisely, to make sure there's always a human in the loop. We have to build systems with clear lines of human oversight and accountability to ensure this technology actually serves and benefits all of us. And that really leaves us with one last powerful question to just sit with. If robots are going to handle all the routine, repetitive, and demanding tasks, what great challenge will you, with all your freed up brain power and energy, choose to solve? The future of work isn't about humans versus machines. It never was. It's about humans and machines creating something far better together. If you want to go deeper on this, the source for this explainer, The Cognitive Revolution by Ousmane Diallo, is a brilliant place to start. Thanks for tuning in.